everybody? It's interesting because I already told you my position on wrestling, right? Okay. Ever since Chris Benoit died, and I found out the real reason why he died, um, I decided to more or less stop. However, I started seeing the commercials for Lucha Underground. Now, for those of you that don't know, uh, they tried bringing Lucha Libre USA. I don't remember what channel it was on. I think it was on MTV2. I'm not sure. There's Lucha Libre USA. Try bringing mass wrestlers into the United States. I think they had a six-sided ring, thanks to the fact that TNA took away the six-sided ring. So, but it sucked. It absolutely sucked. Playmates made the toys for it. That was the first toy Playmates had since since the 2003 Ninja Turtles series was over. And yeah, like it was that serious, like it was that ridiculous. Anyway, those I have no idea where those toys are, who any of those people were. They tried bringing some credibility by having Carlito on it one time. The tag team Puerto Rican Powers. It was just dumb. Could absolutely no ifs, ands, or buts could not get into it. So here comes Lucha Underground, El Rey Network. Now, I see, the boss. They show some of the mass wrestlers that they had, as well as a couple of well-known wrestlers, such as Chavo Guerrero, uh, Johnny Morrison, now known as Johnny Mundo, and of course Conan, who was in WCW as a wrestler as well as a manager, and then eventually being a manager in TNA wrestling. Now manages this new luchador by the name of Prince Puma, and Prince Puma makes Rey Mysterio look like a block of wood. Seriously, he puts Rey Mysterio to shame. Like his movements, his agility, just his fighting prowess in general. The man is one hell of a performer. I mean, such a natural athlete. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost granted. I didn't see any technical submissions or anything like that, which luchadors are also known for. But he's the high flying luchador. He's one of the little guys, and so he just jumps and flies all over the place and does a hell of a good job at it. The entertainment value of Lucha Underground in comparison to WWE or TNA is just leaps and bounds better, surprisingly. I guess it's because it's a couple of the new up and comers, as well as the old, just a couple of old guys trying to make it. But it's like what they're trying to do is they bring in like traditional luchadors, traditional masked wrestlers. These guys come in and they put on just an amazing show. It's ridiculous. Like a lot of them have have Spanish names, and then on top of that, this really shocks me. They brought back the Journeyman. They brought back the Jobber. The guys that like in the 80s. Well, I don't know how long they've been using jobbers for, as far as like televised professional wrestling, especially in WWE or WCW. But they've been around for a long time. That basically, all they were was the guys that got paid to get beat up by the superstars, the contracted superstars. As professional wrestlers would put it today, or as The Rock would put it, jabronis. They brought back the jabronis. They haven't had those since the mid '90s. What was it? Since like since like Bret Hart left, I think. No, as a matter of fact, because then it was basically just superstar versus superstar every show, and they brought back the journeymen, the jobbers. I was shocked. They got these guys, no masks. There's only two uh, guys in there that don't have a mask. It's Eddie Guerrero, as far as the fighters. It's Chavo Guerrero, I meant, not Eddie. God rest him. There's Chavo Guerrero as well as Johnny Mundo. Those are the only two fighters, male fighters, that don't have a mask. Everybody else does. And this is like, it's almost like traditional Mexican wrestling. And like I said, the entertainment value is much higher. It's all pre-recorded. The scenes, the scenes in the locker room or whatever are all pre-recorded, made to look like a soap opera, because this is on the El Rey network. So it's all made to look like a soap opera. A lot more realistic. I mean, even the announcers, you got Matt Striker and Vampiro. Vampiro is old and bald now and no makeup, but he's supposed to be like the heel ringside commentator. Both of the commentators, if the feel of it is it's as if I'm watching an MMA match, because they'll constantly in the middle of the fight pan the show the camera over to they'll cut the feed to the commentators table, and what happens is you see them, they're watching the match. It's not like you saw in TNA. You saw that one in TNA, how they accidentally cut to the commentators, and clearly you could see them reading a script. Oh my God, this, that, the other. It's hilarious to find that out. And if I don't know if they do that with WWE, but apparently that's more or less has been done in the past. These guys don't do that. These guys, Matt Striker, who both of these guys were pro wrestlers. Vampiro, a more hardcore wrestler, fought in WCW, and Matt Striker, who was a school teacher, who got fired trying to audition for WWE, and they said, you know what, let's give him a shot. They gave him a shot. He was a superstar for a little while, and now he's commentating for Lucha Underground, and it's all shot in the same location. It's not like WWE or now TNA, where this week they're in Madison Square Garden, next week they're in the Staples Center, next week they're in Nassau Coliseum, then they're in then they're in the Houston Astrodome, then they're gonna be somewhere else. Just so many different, constantly going to so many different places and having to book house shows, because it's like they don't get days off. And then of course the pay-per-views and all that. From what I understand, the most that these guys have to work is maybe once a week. Maybe they maybe what they do is they actually shoot a couple of episodes, because they're only an hour long. They shoot a couple, they shoot a couple of shows in one night, and just then obviously edit it to how it's supposed to go accordingly. And then you got like I said, it's the fact that it's all shot in the same location. It's basically in a warehouse, and like everything's just done there. So wrestlers don't have to travel as much. They don't have to work. They don't have to work as much. They actually get time to rest up, to heal everything. Get to go home to their family, spend more time with their family, and I don't see any pay-per-views coming out with these people anytime soon. So yeah, and then of course the excitement that these guys bring. Like I said, Prince Puma, absolutely phenomenal. And then you got Phoenix. Phoenix's mask kind of looks like Rey Mysterio's mask, but with a couple of extra things on it to make it look, to make him look like a phoenix. And I was just blown away by this guy's agility. I honest to God could not believe it. Then even to see Johnny Morrison, seeing him back in action, the high flyer that he is, and him being more or less a face, because I loved him in like he was the perfect bad guy. Like to me, when he became Johnny Morrison and was ECW champion, and for whatever reason, CM Punk could beat him in every other day except for when it came to the pay-per-views. Kept losing on the pay-per-views. Could not understand that. Couldn't understand that at all. Then CM Punk to finally get the ECW title because Johnny Morrison was supposedly busted for steroids. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but after the death of Chris Benoit and the fact that they had blamed steroids for why he did what he did, basically the WWE started cracking down on it. Granted, majority of the reason why they take steroids is not to get juiced up faster, but so they can heal faster. And then, of course, the mixture of whatever recreational drugs, alcohol, and any painkillers they're on doesn't help. So Johnny Morrison, last WWE title I remember seeing him have was the unified tag titles with Miz, and then last time I saw him again was for he just made a very brief appearance in the first episode of the third season of Video Game High School, and playing Casey Jones in the Superpower Beatdown, Casey Jones versus Kick-Ass. Now, he's gonna be in the Bat in the Sun Superpower Beatdown. He's gonna be playing the Winter Soldier, and I think it's Winter Soldier versus Nightwing, which is perfect. And I have no favorite. I'm leaning more towards Nightwing, but the Winter Soldier is, I want to say just as adept, and the fact that he can use guns and bombs and stuff like that. Nightwing will definitely have his hands full. I'm gonna have to leave that to the voters. It's probably gonna be close, have an alternate ending, and regardless of which way it happens, I'm pretty sure I'll be satisfied. I'm pretty sure I'll be satisfied with the ending, and the fact that he's doing this instead of with WWE, where basically he doesn't have to work. He doesn't have to work as much, and of course he can do all these other side projects. He's also going to show up in the Bat and the Sons series, Taz Caden Operation Black Unicorn. I have no idea what he's gonna be doing, but I know he's in there with Jason David Frank, and I'm excited for that. He spent 3 years out of the wrestling ring for him to come back and just explode the way he has been. Granted, not too many people have the LA network, but you can find these episodes online, and like I caught up to 7 episodes. I haven't seen the 8th one yet. But this might get me to start watching pro wrestling again. Granted, right now they don't have any champions. There's no women's champion. There's no like main champion, or they're like secondary champion. No tag team champions, nothing like that. Their roster isn't even that big. Like I said, because the show's only an hour long. On top of that, like I said, they brought back the jobbers. So now this guy, Mil Muertes. He's a big behemoth. He's their Kane. He's their Abyss. He's their the unbeatable monster. And I'm shocked like how agile this guy is and how technical he is, and just he is. I mean, as a performer, he's a force to be reckoned with. I mean, wrestling is, like I keep saying, it's scripted, it's choreographed, but it's not fake. These guys, and Lucha Underground, seriously, these guys absolutely bring it. It's on Wednesdays on the El Rey Network. I don't know what time. Call your local cable provider, see what's up. Catch the episodes online if you have to. it's just it's it's just so much better. It is just so much better. Whether the luchadors or the only two females that they have that fight, the luchadores, Sexy Star and Ivelisse, who's Puerto Rican, and she doesn't wear a mask, but she's a girl. Sexy Star wears a mask, and just in general, some of these people like Sexy Star's real life. She had to overcome a lot of controversy, to get to where she is, become a big star in Mexico. Now shows up in Lucha Underground, and just the whole setting for it is just brings it. It honest to God brings a more realism to it between the actual matches, between the stunts that these guys do. Oh my God! You have to. I'm serious. Prince Puma and Phoenix, absolute best that they have as far as their high flyers. It does not get better than those two. And Prince Puma, like I said, as athletic as he is, he could easily go into mixed martial arts, no problem. I could almost say the same for Johnny Morrison, but he's too much. He's too much of a pretty boy. But it would be interesting. And yeah, I'm done talking. You guys have a good night.